Welcome to the Quantum Mama podcast, where frequency meets faith, science meets spirit, and motherhood becomes a portal to divine expansion. Hosted by Katelyn Simmons, a Jesus-loving, frequency-healing, free birth mama on a mission to help you heal your body, align your energy, and unlock true abundance, inside and out. Each week, she dives into holistic health, nervous system wisdom, quantum biology, faith-filled manifestation, and frequency-based living, all through the lens of motherhood, entrepreneurship, authenticity, and walking boldly in your God-given purpose. Because you weren't made to just survive. You were made to thrive, vibrantly, authentically, wildly, and in total alignment. Let's recalibrate. Let's expand. Let's do life the Quantum Mama way.
Welcome back to the Quantum Mama podcast. I'm your host, Katelyn Simmons, and today I have another guest for you. We've had her on the podcast before. This is my mom, Debbie Carlson. Hi, Mom. How are you doing?
Hello, Katelyn. It is an honor to be on your podcast again. What episode number is this? Like 30 million? You're
No.
doing so great.
It's
Wow,
going to be
I'm
somewhere
excited.
in the late 20s. I'm not exactly sure when this one's going to air, but it'll be, soon I'll be in the 30s. So I've been
Yay.
pretty consistent for half of the year. I'm proud of myself.
Sounds like the weather where you were born. 20s, 30s.
Oh, I was like, what?
Since we're going to be talking about chemtrails, I have to talk about that crisp, clean air that we felt in that freezing weather back there.
Yeah, back in the day when it wasn't quite so chemically in the clouds. So that's what we're talking about today, guys, is the super controversial topic of chemtrails. And no, they are not contrails. Contrails do exist, but after, I don't know, how many years do you think you've been pointing out the chemtrails in the sky, Mom?
Wow. Well, I'm glad we're talking about it because I felt like I didn't want to talk about it if we didn't have an answer. So those of you who
Yes.
are noticing them, I feel like we finally really have what we've been looking for.
Yes.
And we are biohacking stacking, and it's exciting. But the reason I'm excited to talk about this here on Christmas weekend is because it was Christmas Day, 2009. Keep in mind, you had already been fighting off Lyme disease for 2 years. So I remember Christmas 2007. And I felt like we were in a little bit of a reprieve because we had found frequency and technology that was helping you. And I was laying in the hammock on Christmas Day. And I looked up in the sky and started seeing this circle. I thought, there's not an air show.
17 years ago?
So we're Christmas 2025 minus 2009. So yeah, is that right?
I think so.
Oh my word, neither one of us are good at math.
That's a long time. Okay, so this was the first time you remember seeing them spraying in the sky.
I remember coming in and thinking, wow, I mean, I guess I was more aware that things could not be as good as, because of Lyme disease, right? We learned that there was some...
That it was like a biological weapon.
Right. Because your uncle, actually my uncle, Ron, passed from being sprayed Agent Orange on him when he was in the military. Because
I had multiple clients who had that too, and they suffered with like ALS and really tough end-of-life stuff because of what the government did to them.
So I remember seeing that being sprayed in the sky in a circle. It was like a pattern. And I thought, wait, we're so close to a military base. I didn't think you could do that.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. So that was the first time. And from then on, I just started pointing it out. And because we're artists, like I was painting room dividers and putting beautiful skies. I never once had studied a sky that had these strange lines and circles and things. So I never thought of putting lines and circles and patterns and
crisscrosses and
crazy,
wispy frequency, creepy stuff.
No one would buy my painting if I did that. They'd be like, you're
No,
just like
it's
doing
so
child art.
ugly.
It's
Yeah,
cute if it's a 2-year-old. When Olivia Kate just draws a line, we're like, that's beautiful. You did great. But yeah.
but even then, it's
Mm,
not what they're doing. Like, it looks better for what she's drawing than what they're
true.
doing in the sky. I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a grid. So I'm
Mm,
really blown away by the amount of people who see this happening and keep still to this day keep
yeah.
trying to argue that it's nothing more than heavy trafficked skies.
Mm,
When we have heard and witnessed these videos, one-on-one interactions with people talking about how they test the rainwater, how they document they watch the flight patterns of who's going by, they look up who it is. This stuff, the
yes.
information
Yes.
is out there where if
Mm,
you use any kind of amount of brain power, you can figure out that it's not our commercial airlines, it's not anything normal.
mm. I like what you just brought up, that how many people just deny it. And I didn't know how to process all that. When I would talk to people who were meteorologists and they
Mm,
would deny it.
yeah.
Now, we remember John Coleman, he was aware of it, but I mean, other meteorologists that I personally have met and talked to deny. People that have retired military, not one person have I ever personally met that said it was anything that they
I
were.
wonder if they sign something. They must either have to sign something that they don't talk about it, or the cognitive dissonance is just so strong.
I personally know, people who are pilots, people who are air traffic control, and no one would ever admit to me. So I really dropped it for a long time, except for in my husband and my family. And I really wanted an answer. So
Yeah.
I feel, again, because we feel like we have answers now, that we can talk about it. And instead of speaking fear and speaking the problem, we can say,
Yeah.
hey, let's use these answers. So I'm excited about
Yeah,
that.
that's
But
what I really felt for so long, like you're saying, was like, okay, obviously we have a problem happening, but what can we do? There's nothing we can do. And now you're right, we do have, right now, I don't think it will have launched yet by the time we've aired this episode, but I've been working on a chemtrail detox ebook and a chemtrail detox course and all these resources, because now we do have answers. We do have the things that we can use to combat
yeah.
what is happening to the world. And, I want to just address really quick some of the documented government stuff that's out there
Mm.
where they have admitted to this.
Okay, so I like firsthand experience and I want to get into what you have documented. But remember how I was saying all the people that denied it?
Oh, yeah.
Then I would meet people who actually had an app on their phone and would show me, look that's such and such a flight. It's not a flight from.
Right.
And then also we started looking at the flights that were coming in and out of San Diego Airport and saying, hey, none of them go in this pattern. They all go a different way.
Yeah.
Or even like so even though we couldn't find anyone in specific government or specific jobs that I thought would be admitting it, we really were able to see it. And then the other thing that is I like firsthand experience is, remember how they have us check our fuel emissions?
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell if
Like a smog check.
the smog check, if you're
Right.
behind a car that needs to get their fuel checked, it's obvious, right?
Yeah.
It's not that the weather is different for that car than our car, or
Right.
that there's a different atmospheric change.
Mm-hmm.
They really have something emitting from their car.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the planes. And just, I love air shows. I love seeing our amazing military. And they could, at the air shows, make red, white, and blue kind of contrails, but they weren't. They were chemical trails. And
it
I'm
would
sure
stick
it wasn't,
around,
it would stick around. They
but
were
it
in
was on
control of it
purpose. Yep.
on purpose. And it probably wasn't food grade food coloring. It probably wasn't super healthy what they were spraying in the air. But, we expected it. We paid for the show and whatever. So that also brought me to mind, like, wait, again, Christmas Day, 2009. that wasn't an air show, but I was aware that they could do chemicals that would make things stay in the air to make a pretty design or when people write. Anyway, so I want to get into the studies you're talking about too, but also just kind of like common sense. And I want people to think, especially after 2020, maybe, all these years, maybe not everyone has their best intention for us. They care more about something else than us.
Yeah.
And I care about you. Katelyn cares about you.
Yeah.
Those of you who are listening want you to be healthy, and we want you to have sunshine. And okay, I
Well,
could go
yeah,
on.
and trust us, we wouldn't be talking about this. This is a topic that you can get a lot of, the people who are doing this stuff don't want the public speaking about this. There's a lot of really amazing doctors who have just disappeared for talking about health stuff. These topics, I mean, it's God put this on our heart to speak out about this. This is not a topic I would just go, let's talk about something super controversial that actually might be a
No.
little dangerous to talk about. Like that's not my that's not my, exciting thing I want to say in the morning, getting on with my mom, talking about something like this. It's just because this is so important that we wake people up to it so that we can start making a difference. I mean, I was just talking to my husband last night about how infertility is so high. I was like, dude, you need to be speaking to men and helping men be manly. I was like, look around. There's not very many manly men. Testosterone is so down. Everyone's doing, like he said, everyone at his work does whatever the injectable testosterone is, and then everyone's on these weight loss drugs, and people are really jacked up. People are really struggling, and it's more than just diet and exercise. Everyone wants to say, oh, just go to the gym or just do this and all this stuff. It's like, we have to actually be biohacking. We have to actually be really being aggressive with our health if we want to stay ahead of what they are doing to us.
Yeah, and that's the difference is we have an answer again that we wouldn't want to wake up and just say, let's talk about something really negative and spread fear or spread, so that you're afraid to spread doubt and fear and control.
Yeah.
We want to empower you in your home so you're not caught off guard. So that your practice, if you have a practice, your office, your home, where you are, you're giving yourself what you need.
Yeah, create a little a safe haven for your office, for your home, where you can go and recoup. We're not saying not to go outside. I have a whole course on sunlight. I want everyone to be going outside and getting the benefits you still can get, even with what's happening. I love how you keep bringing it back to the empowerment side of it.
Yeah, because exactly what you're seeing with all the men, it's like if we have a boatload of toxins coming from every direction, plus we're willingly injecting ourselves or taking things, how are we ever? I just saw that, our fertility rate is making it so we're not even able to sustain as a country, really. It's gone so low. So if it were just that one thing, if it were just the cognitive, just helping people with their brain, just helping people with their breathing, just helping people with their eyesight, just helping people see that what we're getting sprayed with, and let's say we just don't even believe in the spray or what they're doing out there, which then just Google it. Just look for sites. I mean,
there's even a popular artist, Lana Del Rey, the song about chemtrails. Like, it's in plain sight. And then I posted a video about how Disney paid, like, I don't know if it was 600 million or 60 million, some ridiculous amount of money to have artists go in and add chemtrails to all the old films. They weren't there before, but they're just trying to gaslight you into thinking that there's always been chemtrail clouds.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's
I didn't mean
heartbreaking.
to interrupt you there.
It's what we're talking about. It's like, it's the deceit, the cover up. And so
what does the enemy do? He is a liar. Everyone is being deceived.
Is the word nefarious? It's terrible. It's horrible. It's terrible and incomprehensible to me that anyone would want to be spraying things. We're going to get into some of these technologies because I have to say I've seen with my clients on their AO scan, barium, aluminum, like the things that we know. And people have different ways of detoxing, but if we're not breathing in the cleanest negative ions, if you're not standing next to a waterfall or where there's not any contaminated air and breathing in negative ions, if you're not in the forest with the rushing river and the waterfalls and clean air, especially, I can't find a place where I don't see chemtrails anymore. We're just watching videos in Europe, in Asia, like they're all over. And I used to think it would be dirty air if we went to China. Here, it's like after the rain, it didn't even smell clean.
I don't remember the last time it smelled clean after the rain. I remember the smell as a kid.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it in my adult life.
It hasn't been. It smells terrible. And we're seeing, like, even on the apps for the weather apps, how the air quality is so bad. I don't remember ever seeing that like that in California. Maybe during a Santa Ana.
Or up in LA. I remember when we'd drive into LA and the sky would you could see the smog. You could see how gross it was.
Yeah.
And now we have that here in San Diego.
And
worse than anything I remember. You can't even look. Yeah, go for it.
Even if you look towards the mountains where you'd think the air would be clear, you just see this thick haze.
And can we talk about how bright it is at the ocean? Do you ever remember it being so bright like that? Like, there's a normal brightness that comes from the sun hitting the water, and that's like really bright, right? It magnifies it, kind of like if you're in snow and the sun magnifies with the water. But it's not just the water, it's the whole haze. It's like a haze that is brighter than anything. It's like it's a magnification of something really, it's really weird.
Yeah, even this morning, getting up to watch the sunrise, like we're taught in the sunlight course to get that. It was just a white sky. It was just a bright white, I don't know, it's got to be the aluminum or something that they're spraying.
It's not normal.
It's not normal.
Oh, and the glitter coming down. I remember one day thinking, oh, that's so pretty. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, ooh. And then you said, oh, yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
Yeah.
Laying in the hammock or laying at the beach. It's like you can see the particles of heavy metals coming down in certain lighting.
The air is no longer clear. And so my husband and I have really paid attention to when we want to go on our walks to see if the sky looks clear. And I remember looking up many times over the last years and seeing these sparkly things coming down and falling. And then like there'd be a little section where it'd almost be like a poof of sparkly out of nowhere. And then we started seeing in our cameras. And I had my friend, I showed him, he's in Tennessee. I showed him our camera here, our night, what is it? The
night vision.
The security cameras.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked like snow or and it's like this really dirty, disgusting chemically fog that smells
and it's
horrible.
Almost like it's electrically charged, like it's going with the EMFs, like it's really excited by, and we know that about heavy metals. Heavy metals are influenced by EMFs, so that's why one of the things we've been preaching about for so long is remediating EMFs, doing things like using the AO scan, click that EMF shield and imprint your jewelry with that, wear things like Aries Tech. I've got stuff linked down in the description for you guys, and we talk about this on our pages, but EMFs, it's by a grand design that there is so much frequency increasing that has never been this strong on the earth before. It's diminishing our electromagnetic field of the earth and harming our cells. It's causing free radical damage. So when you are ingesting heavy metals continuously, breathing them in, getting them in your bloodstream, getting them in your brain, filling up your organs, and you're not detoxing them out, and then you have this blasting continuous Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 5G, you are an antenna. You have literally been turned into an antenna.
The more metals, heavy metals we have, yes, the more we have, it become an antenna. And think about that oxidation, that it's the heaviest oxidation is radiation. And so we're trying to give our bodies the most positive or negative, it seems like the best negative ions through our water, through our air, through our food, through everything we do. Because if you have an abundance of positive, oxidizing, harmful frequencies, you're going to notice the mood. I was at Costco the day before Christmas because I love people. I choose to go when it's busy. And I heard a mother talking to her adult son, and I was like, oh, it's so fun to hear you talking. She goes, this is how we roll. And I go, but you're so positive. And she goes, I know. She goes, I'm a nurse, and my patients have been so negative, and everybody in the office so negative. But look at how the air was this week.
Yeah.
Look at how the atmosphere was.
You can
And-
feel it in how people drive. Start noticing patterns, guys. Look around.
Yeah.
When you see the heavy spray days, the next coming days, people are usually agitated, psychotic driving, angry. You get flipped off for no
We got
reason. Like,
rear-ended.
yeah, people are
We got
not,
rear-ended.
they're just so disconnected. If someone isn't doing anything for their health, they're dehydrated, they're on medications, they're not exercising, they were still wearing sunglasses and totally circadian disrupted, they're not going to think clearly.
Yeah.
There was
It's
no
true.
reason for that guy to rear end us. No reason. And he
We
seemed
were both
so out of
stopped.
it.
We were both stopped, and he just stomped on the gas.
Yes, it does not
Crazy.
make sense.
So crazy.
And stuff like this is happening. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. We could go on and on.
Improved respiratory. So when you're talking about sunglasses, we actually said when we were at the ocean on Christmas Day, wow,
actually
we
do
really
need 'em.
could use sunglasses because it's not normal sunlight.
Yeah.
We need something to protect our eyes.
And that's
And-
what I do teach in, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get so dogmatic with this stuff but there is nuance to it. If you're going to go out on a fishing boat in the middle of the ocean, you should wear sunglasses to protect your eyes. There are certain times we need these things to protect ourselves. Anyways, I have noticed wearing my blue light blockers, that seems to be helpful when I drive.
Oh,
If you
good
have
idea.
the yellow tinted
When you're
ones.
driving.
but-
I have to wear my lightwave optical glasses from Solex. I wear them after dark. If we're going to watch any screen, I try to take them off, and I'm like, oh, I start getting a wrinkle in my forehead because it just doesn't feel good. And when I put those glasses on, I just relax. And it also helps us to be able to fall asleep so easily.
If you guys don't have blue light blockers like the ones I recommend from Viva Rays, use your lightwave optical lenses from Solex. Those are still going to help. Use your yellow, orange, and red.
They're amazing. They really
will
are.
Really help. I mean, the color is the most important part of blue light blockers. If you have blue light blockers that are clear, throw them away. They're garbage. They don't do anything. Nothing that's actually going to benefit you.
But I just also want to say how it's affecting our immune system to have this air that is not clean. That
yes.
I
Let
think
me
the
tell
worst.
you something.
Okay, yeah.
Full of parasites. It's full of parasites. I keep seeing these independent tests, but I want to tell you about how in the 1950s, this is documented, the wonderful U.S. government sprayed San Francisco with bacteria. And so we are literally being exposed not just to heavy metals, not just to frequencies. Why is everyone getting sick at the same time? Why do we have the fog roll in over the ocean? You go to La Jolla and see this fog roll in and then everyone's sick? Can we talk about that?
That was it, is the immune system, because I was so thankful that we're doing all these things and we don't get sick until last year around this time. And it's like the fog. That fog started coming in, and I've never had vertigo until the end of last year, the beginning of the new year. You were
and
sick.
Dad both
Steven,
got it really
Dad,
bad, and
Olivia,
then we
Kate.
got it.
And then feel like all the things we're doing, I have not had it since May of this last year. But I want to say it was not normal. I told my husband, I said, he's going to take a picture of the sunset, but there was the lines going through the sunset that are not normal. And the fog was so thick. And I said, I am staying in the car. He got terribly sick. And then I got the vertigo and everything too. But what we're saying is it's imperative to give our body these good frequencies, all the things we're going to talk about today, because you need them.
Build your toolbox is what we're saying. I really hate it. It is my biggest pet peeve to see these doctors getting on saying stupid stuff like, you don't need to biohack, you don't need to do this, you have a liver. They say all these things as if we're not being exposed to a million, billion, trillion things on a daily basis. Whether you're getting vaccines or not, you're getting exposed to the same stuff. Whether you're
Yeah.
pumping yourself full of injections and medications, you're still getting exposed to garbage. And all this stuff is in the drinking water too. So if you're not filtering your water, and again, I don't want to cause fear. This should be empowerment. I think a lot of people can feel overwhelmed by how many things we suggest to do. Start with one at a time and slowly build the toolbox. We've been at this since 2008, building our toolbox.
And before that, we were still trying to eliminate harmful things, food coloring. I mean, if you guys are eating garbage, start there. No food coloring, no sugar. Go down the obvious list of dangerous things. But we want to help you build a toolbox, because what we've seen is these doctors saying, all you need is chiropractic, or all you need is these supplements. And I remember when we first started doing post-electromagnetic field therapy, and I went to a LEA conference, Lyme-induced autism conference, way back with my friend. And the people who were helping their kids heal from autism definitely wanted the PEMF, definitely wanted the water, definitely wanted the things we were doing, but they also liked that we weren't just saying there's only one thing you need to do. No, it is holistic, and we are holistic. We really have to look at everything. That's why I love the AO scan, because it's giving us mind, frequency, like
it's like a big puzzle. I love correlating it to a puzzle where you are picking up these little pieces of putting everything back together. And if we lived in a perfect world, if we lived how God intended this world to be, we wouldn't have to be so strategic with our health. Even if we lived 100 years ago, we wouldn't have to be so strategic with our health. Things have just come to this point where it is so intense. We have big, huge philanthropists literally speaking out in the public saying how they want to minimize the population. They want people to be infertile. They want everyone to be getting sick and dying. They want to fill up the hospitals. They want everybody on medications. It is not a conspiracy. It is a fact. You can look this stuff up. Google is super censored now. And with AI, I mean, everything just gets filtered through these lenses of whatever the narrative wants to be. But you can still find this stuff. And you can search on PubMed and find studies to back up the stuff we're talking about.
Yeah, I just want to say how the effects of this are real. How many people do you see? I mean, our word for 2025, my husband and I were kind of joking about it, but it kind of rhymed, alive in 2025. Turned out to not.
Staying alive.
Staying alive. Staying alive. We really had no idea.
My parents love the Bee Gees.
Yes. We do. But so so we we didn't realize how many people would die in 2025, and it's been horrible. But we want to say, when you start doing these things, it's been so sad. It's just, I think almost every week I text you someone else who passed. And
I have to be honest, it is a little hard not to feel desensitized to it now, because it's just, when you know so many people, between the two of us, we know hundreds of thousands of people. It is really hard to, because it's, at this point, it's expected. It is, I mean, I remember when we were praying about this and talking about this in 2021, I was like, we have to really get the word out. We were both talking about this. We got to be sharing. We got to be educating people. We got to be teaching people how to pray. We got to be teaching people how to build their toolbox, because stuff is getting worse and worse and worse.
It is getting worse. And so that's why I finally feel the freedom when you asked me to come on here. Thank you very much, to talk about chemtrails, because I know that it's not just air filters. It's not just filtering our air. It's not just frequency. It's not just our water. We now, if I can announce it, we have something that is going to flood your body with more negative ions than you could imagine. Like as if you were sitting under a waterfall every day. Like as if you were by the ocean when it was clean and the sun was normal color and the sky was a normal color and the ocean and the waves were roaring in. That's what we're talking about.
That we have access to this. So before we really dive in, I want to give people a little disclaimer. This is going to be a high ticket item, but I don't want you to write it off because of that. Right now, I just want to speak to people listening. If you believe in Jesus, he died on the cross so that you could have life and life more abundantly. And that means money That means your health. That means your relationships. That means love. That means everything that God is love. God is good. He wants to bless you. And when you see us talking about these things, some of the feedback I get sometimes, well, that's nice for you. You just have money. You get that free. You get that. No, God loves you and he wants to bless you even more than he has blessed anyone else you see out there. You are a child of the King. And so no matter where you're at right now financially, if you can get this right now, I would say get it. I would have gotten it 5 years ago. I would have gotten this when it first came out. I bought mine the second, literally when they launched this. I was one of the first callers to order it when they first launched it. Now they've improved it and it's even better. But if not, print off a picture of it and hang it on your wall. Talk to God about it. Say, God, I want this for my family. There's a lot of ways that you can actually get this. There's ways you can get it discounted. So I just want to throw that out there first. And don't stop listening now, because we're also going to talk about free ways and low-cost ways to start utilizing, to start incorporating into your routine to protect from this stuff too. This is just really exciting. So we got to talk about this.
It's
Okay,
really
Mom.
exciting. And I have to add on to it that you are God's favorite. And
Yes.
now you might think I'm pointing at Katelyn. Okay, I won't be pointing. I'll go like this because it's rude to point. But you
What?
watching
Or listening.
are God's favorite. If it were only you, he
Can
would
I
have
share
done
a story?
everything.
Can I share a story from this weekend
Share
or
a
last
story.
weekend? Oh my gosh. So my husband, Steven, I know you're probably listening to this. He's my biggest fan. He might be the only one who listens to my podcast, but he is so sweet and he always puts everyone else first. He always puts me first. You know, when I wanted a new car, I'm the one who got the new car back in 2021. When just everything, he puts me and my baby first. He puts everyone first. He's so sweet. If you know him, you know he's just the most, I don't know. You can jump in. You love him so much.
Yeah, he's the sweetest. He's loving, kind, compassionate. And yeah, he doesn't.
So much so that he has driven a 1998 Toyota Tacoma for almost the 10 years that I've known him. And they're great little trucks. It's never going to die. It's just going to run forever. But he is worth so much more than a 1998 Toyota Tacoma. And so I've been praying for almost 10 years that he would get a new car, that he would get something that he loves, something that he has fun with. And so he was researching cars, and we were ready to get a new car for him. And I was just like so excited. And at first he was like, no, we got to get you the new car and I'll take your car and I'll drive that to work. And I was like, no, like God loves you so much. He wants to bless you. He wants you to have the new car. I want you to drive the new car. So we went to the dealer just to go look. And we were just gonna, and I want you guys to be thinking about this from like you, like put yourself in Stephen's shoes, like how I'm talking about Stephen. I want you to feel like everything that God just did for Stephen, he wants to do this for you in the ways that you need it specifically and the desires of your heart specifically. So we went to the dealer and he had some, I'm doing air quotes, mom cars picked out that would be practical for our family now that we have a baby. And so we were just going to go test drive cars. We weren't going to buy anything yet. And we started talking there and we were going around looking just at, they didn't have what he specifically said he wanted. And he wanted to see a certain color for the new Fords. And so he's like, do you have anything in this marsh gray color? He's a military guy. He's like the manliest dude you'll ever see.
A Marine, not just military.
Marine. And we saw one. He's like, and the guy was like, yeah, but if you want to see one, I have this car pulled up over here. And we both turned and I was getting ready to leave. I was like, we're going to a different dealership. We got to test drive what you want. And I was being like the bad guy with the salesman because I was like shutting him down everything he said. And we both looked over and it was like angels started singing. It was like, oh, and the sunbeam was coming perfectly down on this car. And it lit it up and the color was like, I was like, oh no, that's Steven's color. It's like almost like a green gray kind of color. And what do you know? It was not a practical car. It was a super beefed up, awesome Bronco. We walked over and I was like, I heard the Holy Spirit talking. I was like, oh, I think this is what we're walking away with. And it was so random. It was like just this random Sasquatch package Bronco sitting in a handicap spot, like just randomly there.
And if you know Steven, Sasquatch is it.
Sasquatch is his thing. He's the
Yep.
conspiracy king. Oh my gosh. Like last night I was like, Steven, grab the microphones. Let's start recording a podcast episode. Because he's so fun to listen to. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think so. He's a great storyteller and he loves talking about all this stuff like Sasquatch and all that stuff. So anyways.
And Molly. Oh.
That's a side no one's going to know what that means. So anyways, we start looking at it and I look over at Steven. I just hear the Holy Spirit saying, this is it. This is it. And then I was like telling Steven, I think God wants you to get this. And he's like, well, it doesn't have this and it doesn't have this. And I was like, that's not what you want. God wants you to have fun. Anyways, so this whole time I was joking with my dad. I was like, you'd never expect to feel the Holy Spirit so strong at a car dealership. Where all these salesmen. Anyways, long story short, God totally wanted Steven to have that car. It was perfect. And we walked off the lot with it that day. Thank you, Mom, for watching Olivia Kate. And just the comments he's made over the last week or so of having it, he's been like, I didn't even look up what this car had. This wasn't on my radar, but it's everything I would have gotten if I were to pick this. And to see the, Sasquatch on it, and then down to the smallest thing. So in his old truck, he's got I don't know is it
patches?
Felt? He hangs up his military patches on the ceiling. And he was like, I was really bummed that the new car I was going to get, I wouldn't be able to hang up my patches. And what do you know? The Bronco has the material on the ceiling, so all of his cool patches are up there. And it's just it's the beefiest, manliest car. It's super cool. Anyways, I'm so happy for him. But my point in telling the story is because God knows the desires of your heart. He knows what you need to be healthy. He knows what you need to be wealthy. He knows what you need to be happy, to enjoy life, to have fun, down to having a felt ceiling in your car and down to having Sasquatch on your car, and the color and God knows all these little details.
He sure does.
He loves you so much.
He
and
really
wants
loves you
to have it.
He wants you to have it. He does. He wants you to have the desires of your heart and to keep. Wow, it's amazing. I love that story.
Isn't
I didn't
it
think you were
amazing?
going to come home with the vehicle. I thought you were going to be gone 2 hours and you guys were gone 5.
I know.
But your
Poor Olivia Kate.
She was awesome. It was the best. And then
It is
she was
she loves you guys.
Bronto.
Yes. No, it's her Bronto now for sure.
So fun. Well, I love it. And yes, it's true. So when you're talking about something that's very high expensive
value.
or high value,
High quality.
I do remember when we first started doing PEMF with you, Katelyn, and somebody said there's other therapies that cost $5,000, but you it's like we are worth it to have you healthy, to have you well, to have you, just pouring into so many other people. Look at the hundreds of thousands of people who've been blessed because of the trials. So if you're listening to this, while you're listening, it's not just about you. It's not just about God blessing Steven, because we're sharing this God story, you are encouraged that no matter where you are, no matter if you've ever been sleeping in your car or ever been homeless or whatever, wherever you've been, that God wants to bless you.
Driving a lemon, whatever it is, wherever the circumstance is, God has a better, bigger plan for you.
Struggling with Lyme disease, fighting off a debilitating, whatever it is. So I have to talk about this rain, Katelyn. Can we jump into it? Because I never realized that there are studies on negative air ions. I mean, I started looking up studies on that and how the particulate matters, the PMs, the particulates that are in the air, if that's what whether we think they're spraying it or not, which they are, but whatever is in the air, whether it's from your neighbor's car or from
laundry,
aliens.
detergent. Aliens. That's a topic for Steve.
We really need to be giving ourselves food from the air, and it's not just filtering the air. And that's how I feel about water too. I don't think we should just filter our water. I believe our water should be giving us the energy we need, giving us life, giving us negative ions. But this rain has blown our minds that we can bring a technology into our home or into our office that's like bringing the nature's calm in. That just changes the atmosphere in the room, that just gives your whole surrounding such a peace and a calm that
Yeah.
Helps you be proactive.
Literally the feeling of standing by the ocean, standing by a huge waterfall, being in the middle of the forest. That's why I was telling my husband, I was like, okay, you're taking me camping now for my birthday, now that we have this super awesome car. But it's really, you crave camping, you crave being in
Yeah.
nature, you crave being by the ocean and waterfalls. A lot of it is because of the negative ions.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us what negative ions are essentially? Were you going there already?
Yeah, I was kind of just going there that when lightning is flashing and striking and
It hits
whatever
the
you call
earth.
it, hits the earth, um, that's that creates negative ions. So
Mhm.
basically, with our AO rain 2.0, it's going to create negative ions, which are molecules that have gained an extra electron, and then that gives them a negative electrical charge. They're abundant in nature when the air is clean, when you're in the forest, in the mountains, by the waterfalls, by the ocean waves, breathing in fresh, clean air in high altitudes above the smog and fog. By the way, did you hear about that radiation fog? I tried looking
Yeah.
it up. So disgusting that people are having in California such difficulty breathing. So
Yeah. Let me
anyone
touch on
who's
that really
mm,
quick. So the reason why they're doing fog is because it makes those aerosol particles stick around so that more
mm,
people continue to breathe it in. Because what they're doing with the little dumping, that's fine. But then when they have the fog, people are showing how it's not wet fog, it's dry fog, and it's like holding this stuff. And so that's why those original experiments they did in San Francisco in the 50s, putting this bacteria and stuff in the fog, was on purpose. And I think they're trying to turn San Diego, Southern California, into another San Francisco as well, with how much fog we have. I mean, I'm closer to the coast than you are, and every morning it is fog, it is haze, it is gray. We don't have a sunrise. We don't have anything good over here anymore.
yeah.
Very rare. Christmas Day we did, and I was like, thank you, God. But they're literally
That was
putting,
so amazing. We had
yes,
real toys. We call them Toy Story clouds. It was the first
yes,
time God gave us such a
real
beautiful sky on
clouds.
Christmas Day, real clouds. And negative ions are created when there's a friction, like whether it's
Hmm.
moving water on the earth or even sunlight can help with the negative ions. And then um, air friction. So I believe we're just getting this effect in our body when we sit under rain, when we have it for 20 minutes. It's basically, we'll show a picture of it on here, I believe, if you're watching the YouTube. Um, but you're going to get 1.4 million negative ions per cubic centimeter. So
Wow.
this is unmatchable. I am so grateful because I really believe God has led us to all of these answers so early on. And whether it was PEMF way back and hydration and all the things, but this is cutting edge. No one has this. If you are a practitioner, you want to get this in your practice. If you have a home, you want to get it in there because the science is there that we found negative ions interact with our body's biofield. So this field of energy that's surrounding every living being, whether it's a plant, your plants will thrive, by the way. When we're exposed to high concentrations of negative ions, several wellness benefits are going to occur. You're going to notice deeper breathing. I tell my clients, when you have your rain, use your peak flow meter and test for yourself
Hmm.
if you're breathing more deeply. Test your heart rate. See how this affects your heart and your well-being. Be your
Oh,
own health detective.
you know what we should do? So I got this heart coherence monitor from the Heart Math
I
Institute
thought of that too.
because I was testing inner voice, which your heart coherence went up by like 128 times
Amazing.
after inner voice for 5 minutes. Mine went up by 23 times. I want to keep testing it and just show, I mean, the amount your heart coherence, which we need heart coherence to be able to be imaginative and creative and productive and healthy. We could test before and after rain. When I come over on Sunday, I'll bring my heart coherence tester. I'll charge it up and then I'll do some tests. That'll be really cool. That'll be
It's
so
going to be
cool.
so cool because just like we crave to be in nature because we
Yeah.
feel more calm, and we want our heart rate variability. We want our heart to be flexible, the heart rate variability to be changing.
Yeah.
And we do feel a calmness that is just incredible. Like it's almost like the worries go away, even though they're still there. They're not in the front of our mind.
And can I read off
yeah.
some comparisons to how the amount of negative ions coming from this machine compared to what we find in nature?
Please. I love that. Yes.
Yeah, so in nature, negative ion levels vary a lot, but most reliable environmental measurements are in the thousands per cubic centimeter, not the millions. So waterfalls produce the highest natural concentrations of negative air ions out of anywhere. So that's why people flock to waterfalls. I mean, that's why people love Hawaii. It's just incredible. Multiple natural air sources report values ranging roughly from 10,000 up to 100,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter next to large waterfalls. So around 100,000 ions per cubic centimeter in Yosemite Falls compared to 1.4 million. That's insane. Are averaging between 2,000 to 5,000 per cubic centimeter. Ocean air with the the water waves crashing, and coastal air is an estimate around a few thousand, so around 4,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter. Look at how much better we feel just driving by the coast, just with the windows open.
Yeah.
So the comparison, 1.4 million negative ions per cubic centimeter is about 14 times higher than the super high end of large waterfalls.
It's
That's
phenomenal.
crazy.
And so if you're an athlete and you want to have improved performance, this will help with the oxygen delivery to your brain. With especially these high concentrations are going to help you be able to think more clearly, which we all want. We all need. Anyone you know who is struggling with anything, negative ions, an abundance of negative ions are going to help the mitochondria in their cell be charged in 20 minutes. Every cell in your body. How many cells are in your body? Trillions of cells. Every single one of them.
And the mitochondria are the core. Everyone's like, the root cause or the root cause or the root cause. Everyone has their idea of what the main root cause is. Some people are like, oh, it's just parasites or it's just this. But it's actually a lot of things, like we talked about, the puzzle piece affecting how your mitochondria, every part of your body, at almost the smallest, your energy, and then your mitochondria of the cell is the energy of the cell. The only place in your body that doesn't have mitochondria is your mature red blood cells. And so when you have a biohack like this that you can sit under for 20 minutes a day or have going in the room to fill up the whole room for everyone in the room, I felt this immediately when they turned it on in the huge, what is that called? A convention center? We were in the back and I felt it.
We felt
when they turned it on. And that was the old one. It wasn't even as powerful. It was their prototype that was put together with duct tape.
I remember that. Was it 2022 maybe? I don't know. It was a long time ago.
It was when Olivia Kate was only like 4 months old. No, it was before that. Was I pregnant?
Yeah, you were pregnant.
Wow. I think I was only 6 weeks pregnant.
So incredible.
So cool. And then I got to try it when we've got flown out to speak for Solex. And it was still the prototype. And I remember just being like, I was praying. I had it on my vision board. I was like, Lauren, when can I get this? I was like, I need this. I'm going to have this. And then God brought in the funds so I could just buy it on the spot when they launched it. It's so cool. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, the vision board. Okay, so I know we're kind of all over the place, but we're really not, because putting this on your vision board is vital.
Yes.
The same thing, Katelyn had a Bronco on her vision board a few years ago. Now, it was baby blue, or it was a different color.
Yeah.
It was,
and maybe I'll have my own Bronco someday. But cars aren't really my thing.
But it's very cool to see how all of these things, even like the art that I was painting when we lived in Minnesota, I just wanted to see flowers and ocean and hills and bird of paradise and palm trees. And I'm surrounded by the things that I was painting before, except for the snow pictures, which I don't care. But the pictures that I wanted to be around now, I am. And so I'm believing that we're going to have these Toy Story clouds again, that we're going to have these blue skies. But for now, until that happens, let's get an AO Rain 2.0 in your home and see the benefits of antimicrobial activity. Because some research actually indicates that negative ions have antibacterial and antiviral effects. And more research is going to be coming in. But getting these particulate matter whatever they are, heavy metals or whatever's making the sun look weird, we're just finally talking about this, even though we've seen it and known about it since 2009.
Well, and I did
We
start to talk about it in
Yeah,
2021, and I was
we did.
doing some really controversial posts that I had to take down because my account was threatened to be deleted. And I got the fact checkers on my tail, and I had actually, they deleted some of my stuff. They blocked it out. Then my engagement tanked. They really, I don't know why right now we can post about it.
Mm,
Honestly, it's a
yeah.
little creepy. I'm kind of wondering, should I really post it? But people need to know. I
They
mean,
need
if
to
I lose
know.
my account, God will build me another one. But it's just, we have to get the word out. But
Right.
we're at a time where for some reason we can talk about it, which is a little weird. But it was so censored.
Very thankful. I mean, I believe if I hadn't been through what I've been through trying to help all the moms with their kids on the spectrum with autism, and knowing that Hear This Well, like they were getting taken down, there were trolls in the groups when we were talking about how PEMF and how light and sound therapies and these things were helping the children, and hydration and negative ions. We had to shut down so many things. Trolls were in there. It was a big threat. But anyway, now that we're free to talk about it at this moment in time, thank God,
Kind of. We
we
still have
want
the
to
crazies.
we want to help people with AORAIN because negative ions in these are going to help you reduce that irritation from whether it's allergies or you think it's allergies or you're just allergic to the air, coughing, sneezing, flood your body with negative ions. It's
going to help
so
you
amazing.
cleanse everything because it's going to be it's like the ultimate boost for your body to be able to do what it's supposed to do. And let's just explain a visual. I don't know that I'm going to actually put a visual on here. Maybe I will
Okay.
on the thumbnail. But we have I think we have highlight bubbles and reels
Oh,
and
in our
posts about
Facebook and
this.
Instagram.
What's your handle on Instagram is
Debbie,
Debbie
underscore Debbie
Carlson.
Carlson underscore.
Yeah. And
So,
then you guys know mine. But when basically it's this really state-of-the-art tall contraption that has a head with two sides that come down that can go over the top of your head on this. It's like an elevator, like a televator. And you push a button, it can go up and down, so you can have it over. When I went to your house and tried out the brand new one again, I haven't bought the new one yet. I still have the old one. I am going to get the new one now that I tried yours. For some reason, you always get the stuff first, and then I come to your house and I'm
not
like, oh my gosh,
always,
why didn't I get this?
But I mean, we just knew we needed it. I just wanted it so badly because I need increased alertness, and that is one of the benefits when you get increased oxygen to the brain cells.
Every entrepreneur needs it.
I want to reduce any drowsiness, any mental fatigue, I need that energy. And we love our PEMF mat with far infrared, with chakra stones. We love our terahertz wand, our foot detox. We want every spectrum of that we are getting bombarded with negatively. We want to
combat it.
Do equal and opposite, but actually even more. Just flood our bodies with so much good.
Yeah.
I am so tired of
well, it's like this
people being
panel.
depressed.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Describe it.
Well, the panel that goes
it's like
over
a
your
hair
head
salon.
or to the sides. Yes. It's got all these little needles sticking out of it. And it's essentially creating what lightning would be creating when it hits the earth. And so they call it rain because when it goes over your head, it feels like rain.
It's
coming
dry,
down on you.
But
there's no water.
Right. But your hair goes flat.
And
presses.
It's like air. And it's but there's no air. It's just dumping negative ions on you, and you sit or stand or lay on a grounding pad that comes with it so that wherever you are sitting on or standing on, whether it's your feet, your bum, your back, wherever, you're kind of sandwiching in your body. So then you've got the grounding pad and the negative ions dumping down from the rain head in 3 different directions. and it's pulling those negative ions down to the grounding pad. So you're literally saturating your cells and your body and your blood and everything, your organs, your brain, your eyes. There's miraculous testimonies of eyesight restoring in one session, of nausea from first trimester of pregnancy going away in one session. All these really cool things happening because it's just an immediate, like, it's crazy.
It's immediate. I have seen firsthand, even with our AO Rain, the 1.0, the first version, of a young lady who had not had her cycle in over a year. And she had, after her booster, she just lost it. And she was only like 20 something. It came back within the next day or two after using the Rain for 15 minutes. I have had people come from Northern California, come down, use the Rain. She had a lady hadn't been able to walk all summer, and she came in about November, and her foot pain, the reason she hadn't been able to walk wasn't because she couldn't physically walk. The pain was so bad in her foot that she couldn't walk very far distance.
Okay.
That pain went away. I just had someone last week come, 15 minutes. His foot pain went away, and he was in really things for breathing. I've had people with vertigo come all the way from Pennsylvania just to use it for about 15 minutes because they were visiting some relatives. And the vertigo went away. So we're not saying it cures, treats, prevents, diagnoses any disease. We're saying it gives you negative ions so your body knows what to do with it. So it doesn't matter if it's the top of your head and your hair is growing thicker and you have new sprouts of hair and your hair's growing faster, or if it's your skin or your teeth or
essentially negative ions are going to help anything and everything. And that's why I coach you guys to go ground and go get barefoot on the earth. You're not going to get this anywhere near this level of negative ions from grounding, but you still want to be connecting. You still want to be connecting to the earth, grounding.
Yes.
But this is just
riding horses, walking on the beach.
Oh my gosh. If you could go be barefoot, standing in the water with a waterfall hitting you times 100.
Like you
That's
did
what
in
you're going to
Kauai
get.
when you lived in Kauai.
But this doesn't even compare. It doesn't even compare. It's just, they've made it so that we can, and I think when the world was first made, this would be not comparable to the amount of negative ions we would have gotten when God first made the earth, because everything was bigger. Everything was stronger. Everything was meant to restore our bodies and give us abundant health and abundant life. But
I agree. And I just want to say one of the biological effects of negative air ions can be with your plants, which you'll see them flourishing and growing.
But also your pets. Awesome.
It's safe for your pets and animals.
And you can hold your pets while you're on it too, and your kids.
Yeah. It's going to help with serotonin production. So again, you'll notice the mood shift. So many things that it's going to help with. So I am ecstatic about it. I know we were going to talk about some of the other things to do. Like I love our gold. I love fulvic and humic acid.
Yeah.
To help us be able to deal with what could, is being sprayed.
There is that piece to it where when you're being exposed to heavy metals continuously, you want to be taking things that are going to bind to those toxins, those heavy metals, to safely excrete them out of your body and pull them out. So it's, people call it chelation. There's multiple things you can do. You can take chlorella. If you listen to my episode with my friend Vanessa Simpkins, she created juice powder chlorella that you can just put in a shot of water and take that. That's an awesome way. What I have found is the most beneficial thing to be doing is using multiple different types of binders. You can use zeolites. You can use fulvic humic acid, like you just mentioned. Our Ionics Gold from Solex is really powerful. I like recommending people to put that on their auto ship in Solex. Chlorella. There's, I don't think that you can possibly eat enough cilantro to effectively detox what we're being exposed to. But you can eat certain foods to help you detox. You can take, I think it's called taksumi. It's a activated charcoal from bamboo. There are lots of options for binders, but that is an important piece if your drainage pathways are open. So it's kind of this back and forth where you have to be looking at how are you supporting your body, which one of those ways would be, rain is a great option, making sure that your body is supported in pooping, peeing, sweating, using those natural drainage pathways God put into your body to get toxins out, binding toxins, and giving your body more energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and just to give ourselves, I've never found anything so effective as AO Rain in giving our body the ability to have the energy to detox it too. So I keep going back
Yeah.
to that because it seems like it's helping people who aren't even doing anything that we recommend, any of these other things. So
Yeah. Yeah.
just
And
really grateful.
there are things where, if you have a strong enough magnetic, electromagnetic field, your brain actually can detox heavy metals out on its own. The thing with binders that's really helpful for, I would say, most people, you can have detox reactions if you're not helping bind up those toxins. We don't want to be recirculating toxins in the body. So it's like what you said, though. If you have enough energy and you have enough of a charge, your body was designed to do this stuff. So it's very nuanced. It's very, that's where the AO scan comes in. Use the AO scan, see what supplements come up, put multiple types of binders into your AO scan for supplements so that you can see, okay, what is it my body needs today to help me excrete whatever toxins I was exposed to. And this makes me think of, we're exposed to so many toxins. Look at how many people are getting diagnosed with cancer, tumors, lumps, all these different things. What does the body do when it's exposed to too many toxins? It walls it off. Cysts, lumps, tumors, these things are to protect you. Excess fat, okay, so we could start talking about the foot detox too, because,
Yes.
when we think about frequency and how the body how many toxins we're exposed to and wanting to get them out, there is something called a dry foot detox where you can use radio frequency to help get toxins out of your body. And one of the side effects of using this is actually weight loss and slimming down. And it's because toxins sit in the fat cells.
And just the foot detox also helps with blood circulation. Um, I just love how I feel after using that foot detox. Like my whole internal body, it heats the bone marrow so that it can actually go to, again, the root cause. So it's a different feeling than sitting under rain. Rain, I feel like I'm breathing more deeply, but the foot detox just kicks in my immune system. And I just feel it like, again, heating me up internally more than any sauna I've ever been in.
It's like an internal sauna.
Yeah. It's so powerful. And then having the waistband to be giving me the PEMF. And I know after the car accident, we didn't even go get any adjustments or massages or acupuncture like we would have before we had all this in-home amazing technology. So I put the waistband up in between my shoulders so the vibration was up here. And
that's a good idea.
Just be creative with the technologies you have as you're building your practice. People want to come. They don't want to just get adjustments anymore. They want to have things that are really getting their frequency, their cells, their mitochondria, their energy going. They don't just want to take supplements anymore. All of my clients are saying, I'm tired of so many supplements. They want to have things that are effective and financially not, thousands of dollars a month on throwing out the window to supplements.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to think about it like going to a clinic to use these, I mean, the clinics that have these foot detoxes talk about how, if you use it when you're sick, you're going to get over your sickness faster, which clearly that's happened for us. It's like if you have any onset of symptoms come on, get on your foot detox.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just explain kind of what are we talking about, the AO Infinity foot detox, because we kind of just jumped on over here. Basically, it's not a wet foot detox where you think of people putting their feet in that plastic bag and the water changing color. This is totally different. This is, like you said, almost like an internal sauna. It's going to heat your body from the inside out. So you put your feet on these metal plates, and it's like inside this little thing, and you start feeling heat immediately. And you'll actually feel it up to a certain point where you have blockages. So for the longest time when I was first using this, I'd only feel the heat up to my ankles. And it's almost like I used to sprain my ankles all the time. I had like,
Oh,
I probably
yeah.
had so much stuff like trauma in my ankles. And eventually it started working up and I started feeling it in my knees. Then it started getting up to my hips. Now I feel it all the way up, like
Mm,
up to like my mid shoulder area. And that's where I really feel like it like get kind of caught and stuck. Like that's where it's working on now. So it's helping clear out in my mind.
mm-hmm.
It's like a workout. It's like a workout because when I get up
Yeah.
off that thing, I'm wobbly, like I just went to the gym and lifted heavy.
Hmm.
It is powerful circulation.
It accelerates your metabolism so that the toxins and wastes are broken down and then sent to the liver for elimination. That's why if you get the AO Infinity Foot Detox when you have it, be sure you add on the waistband so that you're getting that frequency around your middle too.
Yeah, for the
So,
organs and to stimulate that lymphatic flow.
yeah, I absolutely love it. So I think it's 1 megahertz.
Mhm.
And then it just pulses the frequency in the body in 10 millisecond bursts.
Mhm.
It's incredible. Like to have Solex be taking all of these things that were only available in the highest, most, sought after wellness centers, to have them make it affordable to the highest, best wellness centers here in San Diego, but also the starters, those people are just starting out, or those people who just want their home to be a sanctuary, to be the wellness center for their neighborhood, for their family, for their pets,
Yeah.
for their loved ones.
I mean, let's say it costs, I don't know how much it costs to use these things, but let's say it costs $100 to go use it one time. 10 times you've already paid for having your own.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's how much it is with the discount. And so if you can then have it for your whole family every single year, whenever anyone starts getting any ounce of symptoms, and then to be using too strategically to be detoxing out this crap. I mean, to think about how long I've had this
Yeah.
now. I've used it well past 10 times. And I mean, that's how many times I use it in less than 2 weeks. And so to be clearing out in these layers,
Yeah.
ankles up to the knees, all those meridians and the arteries and the little microcirculation, like, and then the organs. I'm wondering what it's working. Almost like I feel like maybe it's really working on the organs that I feel up into my mid back and just clearing
Absolutely.
that stuff out. And then the power of then also making sure you're taking things like fulvicumic acids or chlorella or zeolites or binders or something to help catch that stuff so you can,
Bless you.
excuse me, so you can eliminate
God
it.
bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, very cool.
and and I know we have again the whole wellness center. This morning I used the AO Infinity wand and just
Mm,
to get my sinuses to open up, to clear that out. Just again building because terahertz. What was the first year we bought the terahertz wand? Was it 2021? And now to have
sometime around there, yeah.
yeah
And it was from
to
a
have the
different company, and then it kind of blew up and stopped working.
Yeah, I know we just gave them away. So, the AO Infinity wand is going to be able to point and aim the negative ions where you need it. So, if you do get this one, be sure you get the stand with it so you can lay down and
And
just have it
that's
rotate up and down your spine.
That's a little different, when we're talking
Yeah,
about it's a smaller amount of negative ions. And the main thing for that
yeah.
is actually the terahertz frequency, which is
Mm-hmm.
the healthy frequency that cells vibrate at. So I'll let you do some critical thinking there. If cells are healthy, vibrating at a healthy frequency, what's going to happen to the unhealthy zombie cells, right? So we have a lot of really cool tech that you can use to be regenerating your cells, activating the good cells in your body, activating stem cells, and
Hmm.
just
Yes.
just resetting your body so that every day, because I mean it's almost like they're just trying to wear us down with this stuff. They're just trying to go boom, boom, boom. So some of the important things that are going to help you that are more low ticket costs are going to be focusing on EMFs. That might be one of the top things everyone needs to try to focus on
Mm.
is creating a safe zone where you sleep. So keeping phones out of the bedroom, turning Wi-Fi off at night. You can get a Christmas tree timer and have your Wi-Fi automatically shut off at night. This way you get less of that exposure.
I love that you're
Putting
explaining these few things because the healthier we are, the less affected we are by these negative things. So just doing
Mhm.
every little thing, don't discount that you're not spending as much as, I'd love to have you invest in yourself versus putting it in a savings account, invest in you right now.
Yeah.
But because then you'll be able to produce more. Like you only get one
Yeah.
body. But I love how
That's
you're
something
explaining these things.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs miss. They
Mm.
don't see how, like, maybe they see the value of going to the gym and eating clean, but they're missing this whole side of investing in the stuff that's going to keep them going long term, that's going to keep them from burnout, that's going to keep the ideas flowing, that's going to keep their brain clear.
Yes.
So EMFs are really, when you look up online, they're going to say, oh, they're non-ionizing, they're not bad for you, but they actually are causing free radical damage, they're causing chaos to your cells, and they are very disruptive. So anything that has, Wi-Fi routers, cell phones, cell towers, smart devices, Bluetooth devices, electrical wiring, computers, airplanes, radar, if you live near satellites and you live near an airport, if you live near a military base, you are swimming in electromagnetic fields. And just looking out the window in the plane, looking down at how much frequency you can see in the chemical clouds now, it's almost like you can have a visual into what we're swimming in with the frequencies. And so, I always have my favorite remediation things listed, like Leela Quantum Tech, Aries Tech, but using common sense can also limit your load a ton. So not wearing an Apple Watch, turning things on airplane mode when you're not using them. You can hardwire your Wi-Fi if you want.
Leaving your phone in the other room.
Yes, don't
Not
stand by.
microwaving your food.
Oh my gosh. If
Don't
you
use a
still are
microwave.
using a microwave,
Come on.
you got to cut that out. What was I going to say? Not standing by things like a running dishwasher. Don't do your work standing next to something going. And then the ways of just, remediating. Wearing things. If you can't afford to remediate your whole house yet, wear something like Cybin. You can get that through Solex. Wear something like Aries Tech or Leela Quantum. They've got little capsules. Or imprint jewelry you already have with EMF shielding frequencies from Solex. There's so many options for this.
Yeah, with your
and ways to start.
AO scan, you can imprint EMF protection. It was just cutting out on you, I think.
Oh,
There it goes.
okay. Well, and just making these small changes, people who just remediate EMFs already say the environment feels quieter. Every burden you take off of your body is going to make you more resilient.
I have so many people come into the front door of our house and just feel how peaceful it is. And I think it's also the pyramids Joseph made and that you made.
The Organite pyramids, yeah.
The Organite pyramids. And then just all the frequencies we're using, they can see such a difference, a calm.
Yeah. And then another thing for toxins is when we think about detoxing, we want to make sure first, before we're really going gung-ho on, if you're seeing people talk about parasite cleansing, heavy metal detoxing online, without first coaching you on how to open up your drainage, this is really imperative. So, constipation is a problem most people, I think, nowadays deal with. You've got to focus on ways to be eliminating with number 2 every single day. You've got to be pooping. So magnesium, what are some of the main things people do for constipation?
I have people actually with using the AO scan, just calming their nerves.
The nervous system.
Listening to their inner voice, the nervous system. That's been
Great point.
The easiest thing, because that AO scan, the subscription is what, $149 a month?
Yeah,
and
that's the cheapest,
all they did,
most powerful place to start.
It's amazing. And then they can also just be giving themselves the frequency they're missing and see what foods and what things they might want to avoid that day.
And then
So I feel
run
like
frequencies for colon inflammation, for there's one on there like release colon or something.
Yeah.
I've made a couple playlists for people where it's for digestion. I've done some for acid reflux, nausea, getting the colon to go, liver. So yeah, that's great to bring it back to that when we think about how the AO scan, if you need to just have one clear answer of where to start, if you start with just the AO scan subscription and you sign up with the business, you're going to have all this access to all these frequencies that are going to help with everything. So you can do your EMF shielding, you can see what supplements you need, you can optimize your body every day, move the needle, sign up for the business, and start sharing, because everybody needs this. Earn what you need to get these super awesome things, because you can actually start selling and sharing about rain and AO foot detox and terahertz wand and the AO scan before you buy them,
Yeah.
and earn and save up and get
It's
them.
amazing. I mean, we're not looking for this, but it's just been handed to us in our lap. And you are
Yeah.
God's favorite too, just like we're talking about, those of you listening. And so before we had AO scan, I would say check your hydration,
Mhm.
check your magnesium, like Katelyn said, doing magnesium baths,
Yeah.
things to get
Oh
your,
yeah, Epsom salt
again, it's a
baths.
nervous, yeah, magnesium flakes, and detox baths, get your immune system or your nervous system balanced. And that was really beneficial to use the PEMF mat. If that is your biggest struggle, that's an easy thing. But now with rain, my word,
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Circadian rhythm too for the colon.
Mm,
If you're not waking up around sunrise trying to get light in your eyes, the digestive system can get really off and not know when to be doing what it's supposed to do when your circadian rhythm is off. So that's another big free chunk
yeah.
of something you can be incorporating. Go to my Instagram at Katelyn Simmons Official and go to my sunlight highlight bubbles. I have 2 of them, jam-packed, they're full. And if you start following all those free tips that I talk about for circadian health and sunlight, you will start seeing more regularity in your organs and all of the other stuff. So I have a little list here: fiber, magnesium, healthy fats. People get really weird about this, but if you eat more high quality butter and like high quality olive oil, that's also going to help your digestion. And yeah, I have in my list a calm nervous system. So AO inner voice, nervous system frequencies, and then AO gut and AO detox.
Yeah, there's a new challenge starting in the new year with AO core and AO gut and everything. So, oh
Yeah.
my word, I'm excited. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Again, just so grateful that you invited me to be on here to talk about chemtrails, but really, it really is our whole health. So everything we did to help you with Lyme disease, everything we did to help my kids with other challenges, have helped me with aging, have helped my husband with aging. So you
Yeah.
guys, it's not just, we're holistic. We're holistic. Look at everything and how it works together in your body. Not just
Yeah.
one cell here, just your eyes, just your ears.
Yeah.
Give your body what it needs, and you're going to be amazed at how you feel.
Amazed. Can I do a couple more things or do you got to run?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just then running into the liver and gallbladder, making sure that you're
Mm.
supporting that. Because when we come in and we want to be detoxing, if the liver is overburdened, you're not going to be flushing stuff out, and that can actually
Oh, yeah.
lead to like gallbladder attacks, which I've dealt with, and those are pretty painful. So,
Mm.
gentle
Castor
bitter
oil.
foods,
Mm. Oh,
castor
yeah.
oil packs, circadian rhythm again, getting
Mm.
sunlight on your liver, lifting up your shirt, laying in the sun. Sunlight in especially in like those mid morning hours are going to be awesome for your organs. Then we've got kidneys,
Or red
making
light.
sure, yeah,
We
red
have
light
us
on your
putting
liver.
our 660 band.
I love AO back
Yeah.
on my liver.
Back.
And then kidneys, you know, hydration, minerals, nervous system calming,
The gold.
avoiding,
Fulvic and
yeah,
humic acid.
fulvic acid. And
Magnesium.
then
Yeah.
I don't know
Just
if
to
I have
keep that.
anything else listed for that.
It's
Lymphatic
amazing.
system,
Yeah. I think
vibration
AO
plate.
back on your back for your kidneys with good
Yes.
frequencies.
Your spine,
Mm.
your lymph. That helps your lymph too. And the green color setting will help with inflammation. So anyways, there's you can even look up the drainage funnel online, and you're going to find tons of ways you can do deep breathing, you can do walking, you can take, simple things to get your body naturally flushing toxins out. And then just something about when we're being exposed to these parasites and bacteria in the fog,
Mm.
taking something like peppermint essential oil
Oh, yeah.
and diffusing it so that that's cleansing your air and being better for you to breathe in. Putting it diluted on the bottoms of your
Bottoms
feet
of
and
your
your
feet.
spine.
Yeah. I like to put it on the base of my neck, a little bit diluted, and then just smell it.
Yes.
Just get it. Yeah. It's so powerful. And we've been
Yeah.
using peppermint oil since before we knew it was even, like, before we knew about those companies that were
Yeah.
selling oil. So I love that Solex has their nano peppermint oil.
And then not to discredit air purification inside your home. Get something with a HEPA and a carbon filter. Houseplants can be amazing to help detox. They're not the end all be all, but every little piece that you add to this puzzle is going to help you. And so I just wanted you to know, the top houseplants can be the snake plant, peace lily, spider plant, pothos, and the rubber plant. And those are actually going to be helping purify the air as well. And then
they look beautiful.
They do look beautiful. And on the clear days, open your windows. So right there, that's already quite a chunk of free things, wouldn't you think, to start with?
Absolutely. And on the sunny days, get out there in the sun.
Yeah. And pray. And then, okay, can we talk about the one last thing? I'm sorry. I know this is getting long. But with the AO scan, let's talk about how we've been actually putting the sky into our space as a target to broadcast frequencies to the sky for radiation detox, EMF shield, clearing the skies. Across the board, out of our group of hundreds of people, we get these messages back showing the before and after of the sky.
It's amazing.
I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
Yeah. And if you don't have the AO scan at the moment, just pray. I have someone who just says, every time I see it, I just pray for God to clear the sky above my house. And she's like, you'd be amazed. He does it. He loves us.
Yes.
He wants us to ask. But on the AO scan, to put the sky as a target and to be able to send these frequencies for radiation, and I think you have the list we could put, but it's awesome. So just looking at putting as the target on our AO scan the sky and putting the frequencies for radiation detox, for just clearing the chemicals and EMF protection and so on. It's really powerful and it really works.
Yeah. It's incredible. Okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap up here. I hope that you are walking away with empowerment and education on what is happening in our skies, but not just that, but what you can start doing to make a difference in yours and your family's lives and your health. So if you need more information, let us know what you want us to share more about. You can, of course, find links for everything down in the description. You can find Debbie Carlson on her Instagram @_Debbie Carlson_. And we'll be back with more information soon. Please leave us a great review on the Quantum Mama podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Katelyn. You're amazing. See you
Bye.
later. Bye-bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Quantum Mama podcast. If today's conversation expanded your mind, nourished your soul, or lit a fire in your spirit, share it with a friend. Tag Katelyn on Instagram @Katelyn Simmons Official and @The Quantum Mama, and leave a quick review. Don't forget to check the show notes for this episode's featured products, her favorite frequency healing tools, and a free gift. Created to help you go deeper. You were made to thrive, Mama, in wholeness, wealth, and wild alignment. Until next time, keep rising, keep resonating, and keep living the Quantum Mama way.